The Polaris Dawn crew is now in space, day one of this 5-day historic mission. And really the centerpiece of this mission is the spacewalk, which is going to be taking place on day 3. And what we can expect to see is the world's first commercial spacewalk, meaning that these are private citizens. This is the first time that non-professional, non-government, non-NASA astronauts have ever ventured out into the vacuum of space. This is also going to be the first time that SpaceX has tested out its brand new spacesuits, never flown in space before, and they've designed this new spacesuit in under 2.5 years, testing it on day 3 of this mission. The other really fascinating thing about this mission is that the entire Dragon capsule is going to open up. There's no airlock like there is on the space station. So all 4 of the Polaris Dawn crew members have to be prepared and in their spacesuits to deal with the vacuum of space. Only 2 will venture outside, but it's going to be a 2-hour-long spacewalk, and all of it, or most of it, will be beamed back live to Earth through SpaceX's network of Starlink satellites. So it should be a pretty spectacular spacewalk to watch if all goes according to plan. Kristen Fisher, CNN, Washington.
Apple introduced its first iPhone purpose-built for generative AI. From an enhanced Siri personal assistant to a new camera control with visual intelligence, this iPhone 16 and the 16 Pro, they say, will come with an array of new AI capabilities. Perhaps no surprise, the company gave some examples of how it will work.
In Mail, it'll be easy to quickly survey your inbox. Instead of seeing the first couple lines of your emails, you'll see summaries that convey the most useful information. And you'll be able to create new emoji simply by typing a description, giving you the perfect response for your group thread. If you come across a bike that looks exactly like the kind you're in the market for, just tap to search Google for where you can buy something similar.
Well, the iPhone 16 starts at $799 US. Pre-orders begin on Friday in the States. Apple also unveiled its latest AirPods and its Apple Watch.
As rescue workers scrambled for survivors, eyewitnesses say the Israeli strikes targeted what was meant to be a safe zone in the southern Gaza Strip, ripping through tents and makeshift shelters, leaving deep craters, and dozens have killed and injured. They told us this area was safe, says this man. I swear the people here were just normal, he says, not fighters. By daylight, you can see the extent of the destruction. Israel's military says it conducted a precise strike on Hamas terrorists, operating a command and control centre inside this humanitarian zone. An IDF statement says prior to the strike, numerous steps were taken to mitigate the risk of harming civilians. But this was a heavily populated area, and civilians were caught up in the powerful blasts. This man says his 2 daughters were completely buried under the sand. Only one survived, he says, and he says he found the body parts of his neighbours strewn around. This 12-year-old girl is nursing a broken shoulder, suffered when her tent collapsed, she says, trapping her and her mother inside. I was scared because the strikes were so close, she says. Israel accuses Hamas of using civilians as human shields and insists the Israeli military takes extensive measures to enable civilians in Gaza to avoid combat zones. But there's little real security in this brutal war. Matthew Chance, CNN Tel Aviv.
Typhoon Yagi continues to leave a trail of destruction behind in northern Vietnam. State media says at least 8 people were killed when a busy bridge collapsed into a river on Monday. Reports say 10 cars and trucks, along with 2 motorbikes, fell during the collapse. This landslide, caught on video, swept away a bus with about 20 people on board. Officials say landslides and floods triggered by the typhoon have killed more than 60 people, with dozens more missing.